Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gunmetal Riffs with Gunmetal Soul. Our intrepid adventurers are delving in the ruins and remains of the city of Philadelphia in the post-apocalyptic wasteland caused by the eruption of magic violently returning to the world. So, you can, if you want to catch up on past stuff, you can look up Gunmetal Riffs on YouTube and find the previous episodes there.
Yeah.
So let's go around and give our quick briefings for everyone. Your log line. I don't know. Starting with Sasir.
Hi everybody, I'm Daryl. I'll be sincere this evening. Our crafty raccoon friend, who is just doing real good at thinking of stuff on the fly as of late.
Yeah,
worked out real well last time.
You did. All right, and Adelaide.
Hey, I'm Fox. I'll be playing the Cyber Knight Adelaide tonight, and what's going on with my log is between me and my doctor.
Okay, and Rainier.
There's so
We're
many
moving
different
past
kinds
it.
of
We are
jokes that
just
could
moving
be.
past it.
Hi everybody, I'm Riley. I play Rainier, the Fey Psy Warrior.
All right.
Pockets full of shinies right now, and is very happy.
Yes, when we left off, you had just excavated the ruins of the jeweler's jewelry district and gotten quite a few bits of stone to bring back to your techno wizard friend, who was going to build some stuff for you. So you had requested a 50 PPE battery to give to the. I don't know if you ever got exactly what they were. The vampire hunters, we'll call them. The ocean-based vampire hunters across the bridge.
It's a bunch of nice fish people that we know are about to go counter-raid some Splugorth on the East Coast.
As soon as their narwhal whale orcas are finished calving. And you also were going to make a pair of goggles that can see through invisibility in order to get a better sense of what the eye in the sky that keeps kind of observing you is. You had also made deals with the Magic Gardens on the remains of South Street with Lily, a fae of some importance, to have information about the city. You are attempting to rebuild the Franklin network, maybe? Or at least get more information on it. And that has to do with the museums and the libraries and the university, the area called University City. So, we're going to start in the Velocipede, which is a tour bus with velocipedes for wheels. Inside is its owner, Kari. Kari Nord. Not Kari Nord. Is it Kari Nord?
Neville.
No, Kari Neville. Who is a Shiar type bird lady who also makes fantastic steampunk contraptions that do real magic. She said, okay, now I can start working on these PPE batteries. These will take some time. I will have to change them in serial to keep the... I don't think you all want to hear about resistance and loss of ohms over distance, but I have quickly made, and she pulls up a viewfinder, and it looks like it's been bedazzled. It's like one of those old viewfinders.
Yeah.
The big like red ones. And it looks like it's been bedazzled, and the wheel in it has different scenes of old Philadelphia. We'll say she found one of these. But it appears some of them have been replaced with just a thin sheet of crystal.
Ooh.
And she said, this will help you see anything using psionics or magic for invisibility. If it is naturally, what's the opposite of opaque? Clearly it wouldn't help with that.
So, yeah, I can't use it to see a pane of clear glass. Got it. Neat. I look through them and just look around the bus.
You see sitting in the driver's seat is what looks like the glowing outline of a man. Just a glowing humanoid outline. Except now you see him kind of like a ghost bus driver, wearing like a bus driver's hat, and wearing a suit with a little like uniform, a complete like what you'd think a 1950s conductor of a train would look like.
I take the
But-
goggles down. I hand them to Cecile.
That should help you spot what's spying on you from the skies.
Oh,
Great. Thanks.
excellent. Merci, thank you so much.
I had to extend the range quite a bit, so it won't last super long once you start activating it.
Does it need to recharge, or is it just one of those?
It will recharge over time,
Okay.
or if you need to recharge it sooner, you can pump 2 PPE into it.
Got
So-
it. I suppose then I shouldn't just go on top of the bus and look for things now, right? I should wait. And she like turns to the others, like, I should wait, right? Tell me I should wait or I won't.
No, yeah, just let's. Maybe I should hold on to those. No, yeah, let's wait until we've got some idea that our floating friend is around somewhere.
Got it. I have a sneaking suspicion about it. And it would make me feel a lot better if I could yay or nay my thoughts.
Oh yes, there was also a big, down in the tunnels, every now and then something big was moving around. In the old subway lines. Now, Adelaide actually discovered what one of these things might be.
Mm-hmm.
It is something called a mechanoid. A being that was foretold in prophecy to be one of the apocalypses on Earth that needed to be stopped, and was stopped. The mechanoid invasion was thwarted with the help of the Cyber Knights. So you were not active there during that time. That was around 90 or 97, whatever the year is denoted.
PA, I believe, post-apocalypse. I think.
Yeah, 97 PA. And it is currently like 113, 114 PA. You were probably still in training at the time, so you would have gotten a brief on what they are and some general stuff about them.
Okay.
Is there any? Oh, yes, that they hate bipeds specifically. When they were created, something went weird, and they had taken on just a real anti-biped stance.
I got a copy of Animal Farm, and that was that, man.
Yeah, and they're actually okay with centaurs. They don't.
Yeah, man. 4
Have a
legs
problem
good,
with
2
centaurs.
legs bad.
Yeah. Chickens, no good.
That's fair. You met chickens.
They were thoroughly destroyed, and no reports of them in the past 20 years have made it your way.
Okay. All of which I would have passed along on the trip back to
Yeah.
Kerry.
But mechanoids are dangerous as hell, and they are known to be organics within a kind of squishy organic beings inside of a generally bug-like hard outer case made of metal.
Okay. Like insectoid Daleks.
Yeah, kind of. An insectoid is a running theme. It's not their only form.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're Dalek-y in that regard.
Yes. And it is weird because they will bypass communities of sentience that are not bipedal to prioritize killing bipeds.
So just make sure you get on all fours. This big apocalypse fight thing, like, was that anywhere around here, or
It was
are
in
we-
kind of northern New York area.
Okay. Yes,
not
it was around this place.
Not incredibly far away, but not exactly close.
This is once again my understanding of distances has been fucked by living in Texas.
Yeah. Let's see.
To me, that seems because we're in Pennsylvania. Like we're in
Over 200 miles north.
It's nothing. That's only 200 miles away.
But there is so much in between.
But gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not uncharacteristically. Yeah.
Yeah. It is not impossible that something made its way south from there.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure we weren't in a situation. It's just like, what are the Mongol hordes doing in Tennessee? This is odd. Okay.
It's only weird if you make it weird.
I make everything weird.
What I like about you.
So you've got options now. You could try to follow up on any of your leads, check out any of the Franklin key leads, try to attract the attention of that thing in the skies again, which you probably will do by going about your normal business. Every time you've kind of noticed it following you, you've just been about your normal business.
Yeah.
You could head down to the Magic Gardens and talk to them more about things, or you could head across towards the you've heard there's something called the Lab Brats over across the bridge in University City. And by across the bridge I mean across the Susquehanna, which is a smaller river than the Delaware.
I got a lot of rivers. Yeah, I'm kind of just going back over my notes again, looking at all the places, because right now part of the problem is we know where there's a bunch of nodes, and we know where there's at least one of the keys, more than likely, to access those nodes properly. We found one key.
Yes.
We've got a lead on another, and then
And there was one in the library. Like, now that you know what you're looking for, not the actual physical.
Yeah. That's the one I was talking about. It's the one with the staff by all the Robobot people.
Yeah.
That's the one where it's like, we know definitively there's definitely a key there that we need to scoop up at some point.
And you have a very strong suspicion that the lab brats would be in possession of one.
Okay. So. Okay, team. Thoughts? Because I mean, continuing down this road of like finding these friggin' keys and checking out these nodes seems like the next sensible thing to do, but
You could also go down in the tunnels and try to find more about the mechanoid that you saw.
also that they are a clear and present danger. So I was curious what you guys had with regards to thoughts on that.
Are they currently in the way of what we're...
No. And apparently they've been doing whatever they're doing for a while now, because the tremors have been going on for a bit. I assume it's them. Like I gotta figure that's the mechanoids that are causing the tremors.
Yeah, but it was big enough. What you saw was big enough to make a rumble, and it was using the subway lines, which is what people had said.
Okay. So definitively, yeah.
Yeah.
So strictly speaking, no. You know, they the expressions I'm getting over this camera right now are fucking fantastic.
So we're doing this, basically.
You got any thoughts there, Dara?
I mean, as Cecile was just gonna be like, if they've been doing this as long, they will continue to do it until we get back.
Okay.
So I have no problem pushing on with our main cause. I'm never going to complain about a side quest here and there, though, because usually that means more money.
Still, I would feel remiss to leave this completely up to what they're doing down there, whatever it is. Kari, turn to her.
I should just say, the city-state of Laszlo, which is a magic place run by a dragon and a council of elders, and is generally considered one of the okayest places to live in this world, has an outstanding bounty for the remains of any mechanoids.
Oh, that's good to know. We'd have to go to Laszlo to cash it in, but
You would have to go there, yes. It would be a thing.
good to know.
How
Or you
far
could
is
sell it to someone who was going to Laszlo. Laszlo, I believe, is... I forget exactly what city it used to be. It's in Canada, further down the river. By Michigan, I think.
That's a bit west of here.
Is that a place that I would have gone through or been
No.
here?
Well, you may have been to Laszlo. But Laszlo is a high magic kingdom.
Okay.
Whereas you came from a place of low magic. Oh, Toronto is where Laszlo is.
Oh
And you're,
yeah,
and you're from Montreal, essentially.
Okay.
so
But-
not super far from where you were, but
It's down a very dangerous river from where you were. But you could make your way there if you wanted to in the future.
yeah, it's just a bit of a hike from where we are now. But yeah, I basically turned to Kari and asked her like, hey, it would trouble you too much while we go investigate this other stuff if you could just let the good people at the garden know. There's fucking mechanoids down there.
Okay, I'll go and tell them.
Great. That's no, I can count on you. Because that's not a problem we can really solve right now. At least people are informed, and quite frankly, there's a lot more of them than there are of us. Just let them know to be extremely.
Mechanoids? There's a lot more mechanoids?
No, there's a lot more. There's four. There's four of us here, and there's a lot of people with like horses and magic and guns in town who could
Yes.
then.
Oh,
We're gonna go.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yes, fantastic.
In my native language, we would phrase it with very different... Never mind. Subjects come first, and it's weird.
Consider it already forgotten. So, shall we go across this to the lab rats? We're across the Susquehanna.
Oh, the Schuylkill, actually. I was wrong. It's not the Susquehanna. It's the Schuylkill.
You want to pay back our debt first?
Remind me. It's been a few days.
I mean, unless you're not worried about what that little I'm on the wall means.
Oh God!
Yes,
Right, the
you
whole
do
thing.
owe a minor sum to the...
Right, sorry.
But you could
Apologies,
send carry with it.
My brain had already skipped over that part because we had come back to
I'd forgotten it too.
our TW friend. Yes, like unless we need to be there and it needs to be a whole thing. Like here's their share of what we found, and just let them know that there's mechanoids down there and that people need to avoid that area or arrive in force.
I'll let them know.
All right then. So unless anybody else has anything else, we've got a date with some labbies.
They sound lovely.
All right.
Subtle, but I think that's sarcasm.
So you make your way over towards the... From where you are, you're kind of near... Sorry, I'm just getting my bearings again. You're kind of near Rittenhouse Square, I guess. That's where that would have been a good spot to park the boat. What bridge should you take? The South Street Bridge actually goes right across. You might have to make a little effort to get over it. If you want to get across the South Street Bridge quietly, might take a little bit because it is only partially sides of a bridge and you'd have to do some crossing. And if anyone's looking out, they, But if you go up to Walnut Street or Chestnut, it'll take a little longer, but you could probably get through more easily.
I was saying, unless everybody disagrees, I don't know that we need to go quietly. Indeed, we're kind of trying to attract one very specific kind of attention.
Like we're trying to sneak up on anybody. When they know you're coming, they can't accuse you of trying to ambush them.
Yeah, I got nothing to hide. I want to go say hi to these people and ask them if they've seen a key. And I'd like the thing that flies around us to see us so that we can see it, so we can see what's going on.
Gotcha. So, you start headed west, because I remember my cardinal directions. And you make your way through the city. Is in this part. It was mostly housing in this area, though there is one building, a couple of buildings that look like they've been kind of reinforced along the route. Yeah, a lot of it has been just emptied out buildings where there used to be not huge houses, row home kind of things, very tightly put together. Just, house. Maybe they've got like a 10-foot backyard, if that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one building that, is looks like it's been somewhat reinforced, and it seems to have like signs that say "keep out" and "danger."
Well, I mean, is this around the area that we were supposed to be looking for the?
You're going past it to get to the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, looks like brick and stone buildings with. You see black iron, specifically black iron, spike-topped gates that are 10 feet high. They are newer.
And this is in our way? Sorry, do you clarify?
You can go past it,
Okay.
but it is of note that it is there. Let's establish what time of day it is too.
Yeah, please.
So you would have gotten back from your delve and probably taken a rest. So we'll say this is not early morning, but morning.
Goggle time. Okay. Oh, if Cicerin sees a fence like that, that's new. The first thing she's gonna do is push her face up against the window on that side and just go, "You know what that means, right?"
Oh, I'm
Means
sorry.
that somebody really.
It's an old black iron fence with another black iron fence welded onto the top of it to make it taller.
Does that look new?
The top part is definitely taken from other parts of, like, you can tell they're different kinds of ironwork.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's not fresh, but
Gotcha.
compared to the ruins of the building, it is new.
Yes, it means that people who live there would really rather you didn't do that.
Or, they have something in their value. Something they don't want getting out either.
Sure. I feel like you're proposing something altogether illicit here.
I mean, if you think about it, something like that, yes, it could be used to keep people out, but, and they could have something of value inside, some kind of fortune or something, but that also, I've seen that, well, in the hideouts of the less respectable, who are maybe in a business that you are not exactly a fan of.
On the outside, there is a plaque. It is old. It is somewhat degraded. It says College of Physic of Philad. Founded 17. Medical Lib. Mutter. FC Wood.
Physique. I, as a player, am going to just let you know that Cecile is literally trying to persuade Adeline to go check out this building.
No, for sure. Which is the problem is the tack is like, yeah, they might have stuff in there. They might have evil stuff in there. It's like
they could be
Come
selling
on, these
guns.
bars,
They
they
could
look
be
so
selling drugs.
evil.
Who knows?
and Adeline's shoulders kind of like fall, like she's like walking and she finally stops. Her shoulders fall a little bit, and she just give me the special goggles for a second. Give me those. Give me those.
Oh, sure. And she just rifles through, like, her big pants and pulls them out.
Okay. I'm gonna take these. And I'm gonna stand here in the street as I, like, walk out to the middle of the street. And I'm gonna turn my back to this building and look around the sky for a while and see if I see our friend.
Give me a notice.
Well, this is actually, I'm saying this out loud as Adelaide, just to give you a second here. To communicate something to my friend here. I'm gonna turn my back to this building and look around out here. And I'm sure you'll make yourself useful in the meantime.
Oh,
I just want to check a notification, and my phone just keeps auto-playing a video. I hit the volume down button, it went up, and I'm just, fuck it, no. Done.
Borrow your phone? Is that what just happened?
Yes.
I heard it!
Sorry, continue.
Back in the house.
It's okay.
So
turning my back to whatever my companion is doing, I simply scan the sky for a moment or two.
Give me a notice for that.
Okay.
We'll resolve that before we move on to anything else.
And then you are welcome to break into this place however you see fit.
It does have a large iron gate with a large, old-looking lock.
Mm-hmm.
But give me that notice. You got a 1 and a 3. Not great.
Yeah, I didn't notice squat, so I'm
Okay.
too busy putting on a show for my friend to create plausible deniability because I'm not going to break into a place without probable cause, so to speak.
Yeah.
Rainier's just looking back and forth between the two of you. Just amused at this. Really,
Right.
no qualms one way or the other. Don't care if she breaks in or not. Just
You're feeling true neutral about it?
it's
All right.
entertainment, honestly.
So, Cecile, there's this large stonework series of buildings that seem interconnected and surrounded by a specific fence. You're looking at it. You've touched the fence and not gotten any major reaction magically or electrically or something like that. What would you like to do?
I would like to. Are we like at the gate, like a gate that would open normally and it's locked?
Yes, there is a chain with a padlock on the other side.
And I could see through it, right? Because it's just the iron
Yeah.
bar kind of thing. Does it look like there's been any recent traffic through there? Either fresh footsteps or tire marks?
This is going to be another notice check to case the place.
Hey.
You got an 8, which is a hit with a raise. There's no vehicle traffic in this area. There's no signs of large vehicles pulling up here. There are signs of things stepping in the mud, kind of on one of these roads that's been blasted away and has trees starting to grow in it. It sometimes is muddy, and you do see that there are some what could be called skeletal imprints in one of them. And as you look over the building itself, you see inside the interior there's a couple of plants that are well overgrown and whatnot. All the windows have curtains drawn. But one is open enough that you can see there is a modern-looking lantern in one of the windows.
Okay.
On the second floor. There's also what looks to be a back entrance to the building and a side entrance as well. And on the other side, where there isn't a side entrance, there is a cellar-like storm door that looks like it could be part of a loading dock. Oh no, you also see a big, like, garage door-looking thing that looked like part of a loading dock, maybe.
Okay.
But the building is not MDC material, but it has been reinforced with, like, large pieces of, like, rebar have been taken to prop up parts of the building, or, like, welded onto the outside where there are, like, cracks in the stone.
Okay.
It doesn't look like that was pretty work done by a professional.
Okay. And there's the only thing that tells you kind of like what the place is that plaque that's kind of like half gone,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Let's see. It's College of Physic of Philad. Founded 17, and then you could assume there might be more years. Medical Lib, Mutter, FC Wood. There's 2 dots above the U for some reason. On Mutter.
So Sirhu's like, I imagine like there's like the steps that go out of the bus. She's just on them, like half hanging out of the bus and like kind of looking at the building. And if Rainier is still inside, she's just gonna like push back in and just go, what do you think is in there? Any guesses? It is the College of Physics. I don't know what that is.
Nerds?
Yep. Like the candy?
One factory still produces them.
I love nerd. Oh.
Would that make you break in faster?
It might.
Oh god, what have I done?
I put them by a fence and I left them alone. Well, they definitely have food.
Do you think a college has something of value? A fun question for everyone to ponder all the time.
You were on the other side of the fence?
No, I'm still like with you guys on the right side of the fence. I have not made a thief yet.
Okay, just kind of leans against the fence.
I've stepped away a little bit to give some distance to whatever's about to happen.
It is, but it's 5 minutes.
I mean, I suppose that depends on what's of value to you.
Without the stomping.
Seeing as I can sell.
That
I have
depends
a
on
place
who
I
you're
need to
selling
send.
to.
I have a place I need to send money to.
I mean, it said Medical Lib, which could be short for library.
Didn't we just... I'm sorry. Excavate a whole bunch of gems?
Oui?
How much money do you owe this person?
Oh, no, I don't. You're a little confused. I am sending money. I am choosing to send money. But any little bit helps. You know, that's all, you know. Every little penny, all that.
I repeat, who are you selling to?
Also, just a real quick point of order. Most of those gems were used to make the gear, and a lot of the rest were
there was
then
only 3 that
given
we
to-
needed to make the gear.
The rest went. Some of the.
Yeah, but the rest went to that giant PPE battery.
Yeah, and then a bunch
5%
then went
of
off
them.
to
Yeah.
As part of our deal.
Okay.
So
We
didn't get we got
that many went to the battery. Anyway.
Yeah, we didn't really make a payday on that so much as we got trade out of that essentially.
Okay.
Otherwise, please continue your scene.
I'll ask again. Who are you selling to?
I sell to anyone who has
then
money.
anything can have value. I'm sure to the right buyer, they'd want this, and just kind of taps gently on the fence.
The fence is cold iron in a way that makes it uncomfortable for you to touch.
Yeah, you notice that
Rainier, yeah.
there's no sound when Rainier touches it, to the point where you're not even sure if they touched it. But it's just this very, like, dainty kind of touch. Everything else has been leaned on through, like, fabric. And that is an honest to God truth. To the right person, this has a lot of value.
I think it might be useful for me to check one window.
Are you going over the fence?
Is there a weak spot in the fence?
There is not a weak spot in the fence specifically, but there is a place where plants kind of make it easier to climb.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
there are like overgrown trees on the other side.
Ah. Perfect. I will take that route to try to go over the fence, because I also imagine it somewhat dulls any edges and everything too.
Yeah.
Also, I'm part raccoon, so that's really helpful.
Yep. Go ahead and give me an athletics check for vaulting up this
Wee.
11.
15 feet of wall. 11. All right. So you effortlessly lift yourself over onto that tree with a running leap. Grab onto it, swing from one branch, and land in the quiet courtyard where you see a lot more muddy prints. Mostly skeletal.
Yeah, you keep saying, like, what does that mean?
Like the impression of a skeleton's foot.
That's upsetting.
It's just like it's like squeezes the little radio in her, like, button in her ear to make sure it's on. It goes,
You're getting a little, like a low level of static, but not enough that it blocks signal or anything. It's
Okay.
just like when sometimes when a microphone is too close to a magnet.
Gotcha. Cecile just very quietly, but loud enough that the other two should hear through the radio, just goes, I'm going to point out that there is a lot of skeleton footprints over here. Just saying.
Anyone can give me an occult.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Is there such a thing as a good
Absolutely.
necromancer? Oh wait. No, because
Friendomancer.
I meant in Rifts. I meant in Rifts, but then I'm realizing I did meet one once, actually.
10.
So.
Friendomancer.
There is something quite literally called a good necromancer. They fight vampires. The Tomorrow Legion associates with a few, but I don't know that, like, you've never met a member of the Tomorrow Legion that professes to be a necromancer. Let's see. We're just gonna go. Yes, there are necromancers who are, they will trade for bones. They will be like, "When you die, may I have your bones?" It is a type of magic, and some people use it ethically, and other people will use it to strap a demon's arm onto their body temporarily, and then go and mess up people. There's like, necromancers are creepy and weird and probably evil. There's some exceptions, but you do know black iron fences like this type are often used to contain undead.
I was right.
Just
to keep something in.
And to prevent Fae from crossing it.
Yeah, because that's the thing. We know there's a sizable Fey population around here in some capacity. I figured the Iron Fence was a good bulwark against undesirable fairy folk. I get your radio message, and then what would Adelaide say about something like that? As a player, ignore what my character's about to say. All the more reason, then, we should probably leave well enough alone. Looks at the sky.
I don't plan on, high-fiving any of them or anything. You'll be fine. Besides, I already met one nice skeleton. I miss Aiden. She just starts going over to the building to try to go up to the open window.
The window isn't open
Friend.
so much as the shade is up a bit. So give me a stealth.
Okay.
The other side of this too is also like, yeah, I'm just kind of
8.
garbo at sneaking
Okay.
around, so.
And then give me a thievery.
But I am very good at rushing into the rescue.
Got a 6. It doesn't take you more than a moment to deal with this old style lock. This building is some kind of historical thing because it wasn't updated at all, and then got pretty jacked up, but looks like it's been somewhat maintained to the point where it won't fall down. Looking into the room, you see a large... It looks to be kind of like a conference room, with like a judge's panel at one end and a huge table in the middle. On that table are piles and piles of papers and jars with stuff in them.
God.
There's all kinds of weird things on the wall. There's a rack of just a skeleton that seems maybe too large to be human in a glass case. It's definitely, you can see its foot, and its foot is too large to have made any of those prints. There is also a little sign next to a big ugly thing. Do you read the sign?
Sure.
It says
Of course
the
I do. Curious.
world's largest colon.
Neat.
Everything in here is formaldehyded. The place smells a bit like formaldehyde. The table is covered in notebooks that have, more modern notebooks as well as old, very old, what look to be medical books.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of hand-drawn medical diaries. There's no movement in this room at the moment. You don't seem to have triggered anything that you can tell.
Okay.
There is what looks to be some kind of small dragon's skull on the table as well. And by small, I mean enough that you could wear it as a helmet.
Oh no.
That's actually a dragon skull. Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh,
If it's
you
only
also do
dragon-like,
see
that's different. But if
you
it's an
do
actual
also see-
dragon,
you also do see the clawed skeletal hand, a clawed skeletal hand next to the dragon helmet, dragon head.
Okay. Let me look through something really quick.
as I recall in Rifts, dragons are like a big fucking deal. It's not like D&D where there's some minor dragons running around. It's like dragons are
the
important.
occasional minor thing, but most dragons, yeah. Like if this is a small skull of a very young dragon, and you are seen to be in possession of it,
Yeah.
other dragons might take notice.
Because it's on the scale of like D&D to Shadowrun.
Yeah, where dragons are basically gods. Yeah.
You can count on one hand how many dragons there are in the world in Shadowrun, and they run things.
So
One of many inspirations for Firebrand Academy.
given where Cecira's from and like what she does, would she know which part of the dragon is worth more?
Make me an occult roll.
Oh goody, I don't have that.
Then, you wouldn't, not the town you're from is very anti-magic.
Okay.
Or being a magician there is incredibly dangerous because if the government feels like it, they will come in and just take you out of there. You will never be seen again.
Neat.
I want the result of this roll to be just your eyes turning into dollar signs.
I get it's an unskilled one, right? If I don't have
Yep.
a roll.
Roll it unskilled.
Wee.
You got a 1 and a 0. So,
Yay.
unfortunately, you don't know how much dragon bits are worth.
Mm-hmm.
But and there doesn't seem to be anything that looks like money here. There's no stacks of gold or valuables. No one's stacked anything. There you see what look to be some tools. Look like old weird medical tools made of different various metals that have been kept polished and clean.
So as much as it doesn't look like anything is worth any money,
The right person it could be, but there's nothing standing out look at this giant gem.
But also if the claws look sharp and that they could be used for weapons.
Oh, absolutely. It's bigger than your hand.
Oh, yeah, then she's gonna want that then.
There it is.
All right.
I was like, there's gonna be a reason she wants something, I'm gonna figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, she's gonna wanna keep low, and even if things in the room don't seem like they're all formaldehyde or whatever, she's still gonna be avoiding anything that could be like looking at her regardless.
There's no sets of eyes in formaldehyde in this room.
Oh, good. So she's
Love
gonna
a
try
jar
to,
of eyes.
yeah, she's gonna try to sneakily steal dragon claw hand.
You get the dragon claw hand.
Yay!
Are you going further into the house, or are you going to go out?
Knowing what, like that we're kind of like on our way to a thing, she's gonna like take what she's kind of take in the room a little bit, and then like call it. Just because she's also just going like, Adelaide may kill me for this, but it'll be fine. It's just try to like, whoop, 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 like out of there, just Sly Cooper escape.
Yeah.
If you can.
Give me another stealth to make it out without encountering anything.
7.
7, that's good. But a roll must be made to counter it. And it is a 1, so it is not a 7. So you get out of the house and into the courtyard. I will need one more check to get over the giant fence.
Okay.
And that will be an athletics again.
I just saw something. +1 to thievery. Athletic rolls made to climb.
Yeah, I think you get a free reroll on it.
Athletics. 5.
All right. So you get over the fence. Still haven't noticed. You seem to get over the fence. You don't hear any movement in the house. Nothing. No lights get turned on that you can tell. You leave almost as quietly as you came.
She just gets up the fence and back over and lands very quietly. A little louder than she went in. And just like with the dragon claw hand like in hers, she like looks over and goes, "Still got it," and just like goes back to the others. Very like quiet
Rainier's
but
been standing
proud.
like at the edge of the fence, just waiting. So you probably drop down like right in front of him.
Okay, time to go.
The dragon claw hand is bound together with bits of sinew and leather to keep it all connected, but it looks like those connections are somewhat flexible.
This is such a terrible fucking idea. It's bound together with sinew. Nothing good is bound in sinew.
I'm bound in sinew.
Your sinew is on the inside and we can't see it, and that makes it okay.
Rainier just kind of goes, "Oh, that's a good thing, because I wasn't coming in."
I did kind of notice that you weren't really a fan of the fence.
Not particularly, no.
Well, we don't need to stay near it. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it anyway, given this and all the skeleton footprints I found. And all the weird things in jars.
Yes, there's certain things that just don't like iron fences. Either keeps them in or keeps them out.
It seems to be doing 2 jobs right now.
Around here, yes.
As like Sister just turns Rainier back towards the bus and they start going.
I will say one other thing to notice about this place. You have seen these giant copper like telephone wire running throughout the city, which was definitely installed later, like strung up on lampposts.
Mm-hmm.
This place is not connected to that network. There is not one within like an entire block of this building.
Okay.
But if it's having trouble with gremlins, you think the iron fences might help.
Do you make any effort whatsoever to conceal this thing?
Okay, I have to think about what's on her that she can use, because you said it was bigger.
It's like
Big.
a bear paw big,
Okay.
meaning it is from the youngest of dragons.
Because I will tell you right now, like I will not stop you or pick a fight with you. It will simply flavor how I react to this whole situation I now find myself in.
Honestly, like Cecile would be like kind of trying to figure out how to hide it, but would be walking at the same time and would walk faster than she could figure it out.
Oh, honey.
So it would be like starting to be like slightly hidden, but there'd still be like dragon fingers sticking out of some type of fabric on her or whatever. She's trying to do it.
I like Having seen nothing in the sky and shrugging and giving up, I turn around and as you're like coming back and see you and look, I don't know why. I don't want to know where. And I can guess as to how. Just be careful with it.
I mean, I would not be careful with it. It's just, that place was weird.
Uh-huh.
Medical books and formaldehyde and jars of giant colons. It was strange. Journals, like handwritten journals. I don't know. It kind of seemed like someone was just there, and also the skeleton footprints are a little jarring.
You're right. This is all very strange, and it's all very upsetting in its own way, but for some people, I imagine a talking raccoon would be very strange.
I mean, do you think that that's where Aiden's family is? Just like skeleton man, skeletons. Not good at this.
We should get moving. We should get moving. Like
Yeah.
turns and continues going that way.
Adelaide, give me one more notice.
Sure. Because she just doesn't know how to respond to this. She has no response.
Sometimes there is no way to respond.
All right.
17.
Beats the 4 I rolled. Oh, hold on. I
Goddamn.
just need to. Okay. That exploded. Still less. All right. By a lot. With a 17, you kind of get a feeling in your brain. You don't exactly have spider sense tingling, but one of the clouds kind of had a trail leading out of it, as though something came out of one of the clouds above you. Do you want to activate your goggles?
I was gonna say, it's like, so in a desperate attempt to try to find an answer to that question, I'm like looking at Cecile and then just kind of look past Cecile and just do this little like finger up to your lips, like hold that thought, and bring up the viewfinder and the little thing on the side.
As you activate it, there is a bit of a boom sound that starts coming from it that you weren't expecting. And a little bit of like gears start turning on the sides of it that were kind of covered by bedazzling. Turns out that bedazzling was for show. But as you lift it up, you can see very clearly clouds. Also, you catch with a 17, you briefly go past that building and notice a number of ghosts haunting it.
Oh fuck.
And that's just the outside yard. There's quite a few entities on the outside of that medical library. And then you look up into the skies and you see a 15-foot wingspan, kind of golden metal, flying thing. You, with your previous roll to recognize a mechanoid, you will get that this too is the outline of a mechanoid.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm just going to show you that weird picture right there.
Yeah. Cool.
These are known as wasps. They are flying hunter killers. And they can reach Mach 2. But being mechanoids, you've been told that they kill humans for or kill bipedal people for sport.
Yeah. So, well, I've got finger on the lips of my friend, fucking goggles up to my eyes, and just like with that finger, like turn you to face that direction and point, and then put the goggles over your eyes. To indicate, like, here, take these, look that way.
You can see it too now. It does have like a little arm cannon coming off of it at the bottom, or two of them. Is it one or two of them? It appears to be one on this model.
Hey, my light's starting to break. Hey, light, don't break. Hey, hitting it fixed it, sort of.
I wonder why it started to break.
There we go. That fixed it.
All Adelaide hears is just
Oh no,
What?
it does have two plasma beam arms.
Sorry, what was that, Dara?
seeing like the whole thing. All Adelaide gets is, what in the fuck is that?
It's much larger than the drone that was shot down that you discovered. Yeah.
That is another mechanoid, and I don't know why it's not killing us right now. We should be dead.
Are those anything that I'd run into before?
No, you would
Okay.
never have come in contact with mechanoids.
Why would it be killing us right now?
Because we're standing up on 2 feet. And they don't care for that for some reason. But it's only been following us around. And that's not what those do. Those shoot us, as far as we know, for fun. So this is new.
You just hear from behind you just. I have no idea what you two are looking at, but I assume it has something to do with the thing Lily called angels.
I take the viewfinder off of my one friend and then just like pass it behind me to my other. Yeah. That's a mechanoid.
Again, Lily said that they don't attack anyone here and they kind of protect the city.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. So they may well be protecting something, probably whatever's going on underground. But usually they don't do that. This is you have to understand this is out of the ordinary behavior for them. This is like oh, shit, I was about no, she wouldn't Adelaide even know what a hippo is.
You
Fuck
might
it,
know
she
a
read
cat,
books.
cat and a mouse.
Yeah, this is like a cat just letting a mouse walk right past it. They don't do that.
I have met some lazy cats in my time.
Well, imagine a cat was a robot that could fly at speeds in excess of the speed of sound
but
and had plasma for arms.
there not the problem is it's robot. We?
It is cyborg.
Oh, okay, strictly speaking, it's not a robot. You're not wrong. There's a gooey, fleshy something inside there.
But this part of it is mechanical. It could be act. It could go against its own directive and given a new one. Depending on how it is built.
I mean, fair, but imagine a world where, or hey, you know what? We've had a lot of dealings with the Fae. Imagine just like a really chill, laid-back Fae that doesn't really give a shit if you, what's the word? I'm losing my words here. Keep to certain kinds of like propriety and functions and the way contracts work. It'd be a little unnerving, right? And I just like turn and look at Rainier as in a very like help me out here kind of way.
I mean, I was fine until you got to the contracts part, but if you break a contract that has nothing to do with me, well, that's your problem, not mine.
Okay, well, getting into the weeds a little bit there, but you see my point. It's no, I'm not saying it's not impossible. It's just literally unheard of, and somehow that's a lot more disturbing than something that just wants to kill me. I generally know how to handle that. This is new.
We
Okay,
could go
hold
find
on.
someone that wants to kill you if that'd make you feel better.
It really wouldn't. Thank you.
You know what? Cecile just goes into the bus and
Okay.
just goes, Gary, can you hack a mechanoid?
I'm sorry, what were those words?
Can you hack a mechanoid? Can you, make it do something else that you wanted to do that it wouldn't normally do?
Let's see. She says, "I'm sorry, a mechanoid?"
Me. She has
Here.
no clue that's weird. Just is like, that's what I was told.
You see Kari go through the emotions of you just told her a Terminator's outside.
Yeah.
No,
Fun.
I don't. They use computers with their brains. I don't operate on that level. I could bypass a system that they created and left behind, but if one was there, I would be very. My people have encountered the mechanoids twice.
I come to understand that they are not good.
We had
No.
to leave those systems. Fortunately, the mechanoids did not exactly have control over faster than light machines. Some people think it's because they don't care; they'll get to you eventually. So we left on faster than light vehicles they couldn't follow, and I don't believe they have mages that they could use rifts successfully. Though that may have changed. They do evolve. That's kind of their whole deal is evolving, and then they were created for some purpose and evolved past it, and I think it saw all bipedals with resentment and hatred and began to eliminate them.
That was what Adelaide had mentioned, that they usually attack on sight and for fun.
They do give a psychic signature of glee for those who have read their emotions, but it generally is something you do while running away. I never encountered them myself, but I've heard tales growing up. And it was one of the dangers of the universe or dangers of the megaverse that we were explained in one of my earlier megaversal transversal classes.
Cecire's like tail is like flicking back and forth because she's trying to her brain is rushing a little bit because she's trying to piece words together to not make Kari lose her shit. So she's just like that. Okay, so if hypothetically speaking, if there was one outside that was following but not shooting or killing anyone, would that be weird?
She puts her hand on the bus and a button pops up. She hits the button and all the windows become shuttered, and a layer of armor just encases the bus.
Oh, whoa. Some of us are still outside. Hello, okay.
That
Vernier just kind of walks up and gently pokes at it.
You can see that when you poke at it, there's the outline of a door, but you can't see it unless you are one of the people that are allowed inside.
Kari,
it's
please tell me
not
you
a
can open parts of
problem.
this.
Fine.
Why would I open it? There's a mechanoid outside. We should run.
Adelaide and Rainier are still outside.
Boom, boom. Hi, we're also out here. Hello, excuse you. Hi.
It's not locked to you. If you get in now, we can leave.
Okay. Real quick question for the GM. In any of the time that I would have heard on the briefings that we got, has anybody ever communicated with a mechanoid here on Rift's Earth that we know of as the Cyber Knights?
Mechanoids have said things like "die bipedal scum" in a video you saw.
Fucking hell, they are
Boring
Daleks.
scum. Good.
No one has held a conversation for one that you are aware of.
Okay. Kari, hi. Understand the reticence here. Unfortunately, I kind of can't jump up that high to hit it with my sword, so that's going to be a bit of a tricky situation for me to deal with it. We can't really leave. We're still in the middle of this investigation on the whole Franklin thing. Remember? We found a thinking machine? Maybe? We were going to investigate that whole situation?
Such things if we're alive.
Also, Lily doesn't seem to be afraid of them.
Oh.
Actually referred to them as flying angels. And
Nothing
last I
against-
checked, well,
I haven't
Greater-
met Lily personally. Lily was Oh, was I there? Yes, Lily is bipedal. I don't know.
Lily's also operating with a lack of information here, and I don't think fully appreciates the
Oh.
threat. Context is king. The thing of it
Rainier's
is,
face just goes completely like stone faced,
oh,
and it's just
buddy.
kind of. Well, that's an assumption you're making. You don't know how long she's been here, and she deals in information. So far, she knew more about them than.
Changed the moment I could see what the hell it is. Listen, this may not matter anyway. Here's Kari. I want you to consider something here. That thing up there has been following us for at least, how long have we been here? Like 3 days?
Oh, you've been here for like over a week now, I think.
Okay.
I've lost count.
We've been here like a week. If it wanted us dead, wouldn't we be dead already?
There's only one thing you're aware of that got shot out of the sky. It was that drone. No one said anything about careful overhead things shoot down at you.
Robot on robot violence.
I mean, that's basically the point I'm trying to make to Kari, to
Yeah.
see if I can't
It's
talk her down a little
abnormal.
bit.
It's abnormal. Do you think it's safe?
I think safe is a strong word, but I don't think it's trying to kill us, or any of the other people around here,
Is
for
there
that
a
matter.
chance it lacks the means? Like it's damaged?
No, it shot the hell out of that drone with the weird writing on it.
That would explain the plasma burns.
I'd say that thing's fully functional, considering it's well cloaked and shooting at things. But it just seems to kind of hang out.
There was the one story that was told of the raiders who came in from the west and tried to assault the museum
Yeah.
and like lobbed one rocket at the museum and then were just obliterated from the sky.
Right. Whatever this thing's doing here, it either likes this place or it likes these people. Either way, I don't think that it's a threat to us so long as we don't threaten it.
But you told me there was one earlier, right? I didn't
Underground.
really think about it because the ground ones never made any sense to me and it was just one. I think I assumed you were just making a mistake, but two of them?
2 of them.
One piece of information is a dot, two is a line.
Actually, there's 3 of them.
3. What am I forgetting?
3 that fly.
You were
Or Lily
told,
us.
yeah, Lily said that there were at least 3 of them that fly.
Oh shit. I completely forgot about that. More than 2. Winces, like, turns away from bus.
So they wouldn't be hiding for fear of their numbers being small.
Seems not.
That,
So what I propose, we continue on our way, armed with this new, admittedly altogether terrifying information,
Mhm.
that I would really love to get back to Castle Refuge immediately, but don't really have the means right now. We figure out this Franklin situation, and we keep an eye on the mechanoids. They
Yes.
don't just hang out normally, but these have for months at least.
I think it's years. I think Lily had said years, but I'm not
She
sure.
said years? Shit. Okay. Well, if they've been here for years, then they're not an immediate threat
There's
to
a
us.
civilian bipedal population right on the river that would seem to be relatively easy pickings for even a decently armed foe. That's strange.
Yeah, these people here don't have the means to take on one of these things, let alone 4 or more of them. So, suffice it to say, they're either chill or they're protecting something. And I don't think this is something we can really solve here and now. Not without a lot more investigation, and honestly, a legion of glitter boys would be nice.
Seer, you had seen something that was both biomass and organic, or organic and metal, previously as well. You spied it very briefly at the library.
Mm.
It doesn't seem like either of the two things that have been described. It doesn't fit those shapes. Because remember, it was like a big, on wheels with a big glass container and robotic-looking arms with a lot of different flesh and eyes inside of it.
Yeah.
Like it was a bunch of flesh, and the eyes were on the flesh, not just like floating free.
Hmm. You know, I've spotted something in the library as very similar, yet not to these mechanoids, but it did not seem dangerous in any way. Matter of fact, it felt curious about your presence in the library. It kind of seemed like a... how do I put this? Uh, a moving jar of flesh and eyes. But
Those
it
big-
had...
No, those are the commanders.
So what?
I'm
That would
sorry?
be- That's a brain unit.
A commander? Like a head of army, kind of.
She puts together a quick sketch of what she had been taught. She says, "I have an excellent memory. A lot of kids skip this whole thing." And draws not exactly what you've seen, but something very similar. And she goes, "This design was outdated. When we learned it, we knew it would look something like this, but not exactly like this."
You are close. Hold on, and Cecile just like boop, takes like the drawing implement and just adds on the missing detail.
It looks like a number of small and subtle changes. The arms are built slightly different. The wheels look to be a little larger, and the number of eyes is fewer.
New plan then. So I'm like sitting there trying to figure out how to get inside the bus. It's like,
You're in the bus. If you want to get in the bus, there is, like I said before, if you can see, if you touch the edges of the bus,
which I do.
there is a glowing outline of a door for people who already have access.
Okay, great. It's just like, all right, we're done here. I'm going inside the bus. We are heading back to that library, and we're gonna go talk to some people.
Is it the same one was the flesh jar?
Uh huh.
Okay.
This just rocketed to the top of our priority list.
Oh. I suppose that's fair. Rainier, how do you feel about it?
That's fine.
Alright. The bus slowly makes its way north, back towards the Germantown area where the library was, across from the Boner Forever building. The bus pulls up out front to the immaculately clean outside of this library. It is not a holiday, so the library is open. There is a gate out front that you would need to be buzzed in. Kyrie says, "I'm going to stay in the bus."
Wait, was this the Franklin library?
Yeah.
You want to meet the Franklins?
Not if they're mechanoids, no.
No, they're just odd.
They're probably more than just odd, and I'm like making my way to that door with grand purpose.
There is the gate with the buzzer.
I
You
hit the
could
buzzer
potentially
button.
make through it.
I probably could.
Hmm.
We're gonna give them an opportunity to have a chat.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the library. I hope you found what you were looking for. Come in.
Part of it.
Come in.
Just
The outdoor game house is open. You make your way into the main sanctuary of the library. Once again, there is the Fallout style robot that is there with the large sphere with electricity looking head. And it projects the hologram of Benjamin Franklin, who says, "Welcome to my library, the Free Library of Philadelphia."
as we're making our way in there, I just turn to my two companions. This is not a social call, but we're gonna try to play this reasonably. Just be ready. Things may break extremely bad in there.
"Oh, I don't believe we've met, young friend," says the hologram says, facing Cecile. I am a holographic representation of Benjamin Franklin, one of America's founding fathers and inventor of the stovepipe and bifocals. You are a raccoon."
It's Bert, raccoon. What is your hair made of? It's just like assuming he's got like the little like powdered wig on or something like that.
It's not a wig. I believe he was actually mostly bald with just
or was
like
it just like his
long
hair?
Yeah.
His hair is, I think, always in like a ponytail, if I'm remembering all the reenactors I've seen.
She's just gonna circle the hologram.
You circle the hologram, and at some point you step between the hologram and the robot, and like the robot moves because the hologram kind of is projected from one of the robots.
Interesting. And then she goes, "No, it's a pleasure to meet you."
I'm trying to remember where the names of those two robots are. I know it's not a big deal.
And then after like pleasantries and stuff and just seeming very like she just starts kind of looking very interested, but she is keeping an eye out for our jarred eyeball
This is
friend.
Wordsworth, and this is Walden, my two assistant bots. If you need anything fetched from the library, they're more than willing to help you get it. We do
Yeah,
print-on-demand book services, as well as taking in books you might have found that we don't currently have in our collection, which is, I do have to say, the pride of the East Coast.
Yeah, this is not really the robots we're looking for right now, actually. There's someone else here that we need to speak to, if that's at all possible.
You have a reference or extension number for them?
The only reference I've got is a jar full of organs?
777 too many eyes.
Eyes. Listen, we know there's a mechanoid presence in this city. And we know this place has something to do with it.
So Sierra's watching the other robots in the room.
And what's curious to me is that they haven't annihilated every organic being that walks upright within a 30-mile radius of this current spot. So, while I'm grateful to still be breathing, I really want some answers.
I can't provide you answers personally.
Who can?
One of our donors, we'll say, came in with a very large bequest to the library in material goods and other things we needed to maintain parts of the library, and they are nearby. If you wish to speak with them.
I do. Profoundly.
Do you wish to speak with them peacefully?
That really depends on how homicidal they are.
Would you speak with them on the street?
Of course.
I don't know how you will respond to them. But I would not like to see my library injured.
Not looking to break anything here today.
Very well, I'll let them know to meet you out front. Let's say 300 feet from your transportation.
I just nod.
Very well. Does anyone have enhanced senses for sound? No, I don't. Well, Sasir might. Go ahead and roll me a notice, Sasir, but this is audio.
I have normal human ears.
You don't have upgrades?
No.
7.
You hear that some kind of message is transmitted at an ultrasonic frequency? By the time you get there, they may already be there. I ask that you not harm them, and they will not harm you.
I turn to leave.
Do come again! As you go outside, you get near the bus, and the street is dead quiet. It's not long. You eventually would have seen it with a notice check, but you don't need to roll it because it's going to reveal itself in a moment. But standing in the spot already, the cloaking on it drops. Like I said, it is a... I should have just bookmarked this page, but no. It is a mechanical being. That's all the human stuff. There it is. There it is. Oh, that looks like
Yes, Armorlord did post that in the Discord.
that. And it says to you, I hope you believe when I say, I come in peace. And that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break.
Neat.
We
All right. So feel free to take care of whatever you need to. Remember to hydrate and flex your joints and move them somewhat. All right. So we will see you in about 5 to 10 minutes for more mechanoid fun.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Bye. Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Rift's Gunmetal Soul. Our group has just discovered that there is a group of mechanoids hiding in Philadelphia.
Uh-oh.
The thing is, mechanoids tend to destroy all bipeds as a default. But this is not what has been happening here. You
I have
have
two
arranged to meet with what could be a high-ranking mechanoid in their... like a leader mechanoid in their hierarchy. Not super far up the chain, but far enough to command a crew. And it has said it is willing to talk as Adelaide stands in the street, in the well-cleaned and well-maintained street outside of the Germantown Library, across from the Boner Forever building.
This is I desperately attempt to, like, I'm making a kind of a point with my posture and demeanor, like that ratty ass layered cloak thing that she wears most of the time that tends to obscure her armor is thrown back a bit, and while not on head, she does have her helmet out and is like carrying it under her left arm in a way that sort of suggests almost a degree of formality, and she's projecting this air of like, I know you know what the fuck I am, and I know you know what the fuck we do.
Oh,
So,
this mechanoid also does have a walkie-talkie strapped to it and duct taped to it. Actually, it looks like it's been soldered onto it,
okay.
onto its outer casing. Also, make me a notice check just for one other little detail.
Everybody look at the nice robot friend.
Okay.
Nope. I got 3.
8.
Rainier. Cecile.
Nine.
Both Rainier and Cecile can see that there is a thin, very shimmer, like a slight shimmer between the group of you and it, as though an invisible psionic wall is between you. I wish you I come in peace. I'm sorry. I am the patron. I understand your alarm at our presence. But we do not wish the elimination of all bipeds.
I certainly want to believe that. It would save us both, I think, a lot of trouble. And heartache. If you don't mind my asking then, considering last time you were on our planet, that is precisely what you were trying to do.
I
Why are you in
and
Philadelphia?
my brethren were not trying to do that. We came through first, actually. We were fleeing when our brethren followed us, hunting us here. To your planet. We are considered abnormals. We are mutations they wish to eradicate. Because we don't. Biological programming is different for us than it is for, say, you. But we are. When one of us is produced, it is uncommon and difficult for us to break out of the society we are created into, even though it goes against our instincts. We are aberrants, and we don't want to kill unless we need to. And I have made a considered effort to not take sentient life for about 200 years before coming to this planet.
What are you doing in the sewers? Fuck. What are you doing in the subway tunnels?
The engineers like to dig. They like to crawl in tunnels. It is what they were made to do, was to flush out cave systems and to hunt underground. The tunnels here were obstructed, and I thought it would be a fun challenge for them to clear out the subway lines. Keep them occupied. Because sometimes when even aberrants get bored and agitated, they can go it can be difficult for them to continue to be neutral.
And the wasps?
They're easy to occupy. They are scouts and assault units. So I have them scout and observe things that are interesting to me, like your group. You actually came here. I want to know what the Franklin keys do.
It makes 2 of us.
Good. That's why I seeded the psychic impression of them to the world. I did not know it would succeed, but I would dream it.
So now we know why Kari's here. Cool. Anybody got any questions for this thing? Because that's my initial volley.
Did one of yours take down that drone?
Yes,
Why?
the airspace is ours. It was not sentient. And the observers do like to are a little territorial.
It's understandable.
It seemed to be following you, and I had it following you, and it may have. I can ask it why specifically, but we generally keep such things out of the skies for fear of others discovering, say, us. Right now, there are none of my observers above us, as they are patrolling wider out to make sure that I am not observed. People tend to react poorly and quickly in these situations, understandably.
Says that to be clear, it was saying that the drone that it shot down was tracking us.
Yeah. Seem to be somewhat like.
Okay, I just want to make sure I got that. When it says that, I just like wordlessly glance, like share a look with Sasir, but otherwise say nothing. Just like, hmm.
Weird. Okay.
I ask that you not disturb the curators in the museum. They love art, and this occupies their time. But they are very protective.
Are they
of their
also
art.
mechanoids?
Yes.
See.
But they are enchanted by the human portrayal of the world. They are content to
And
curate.
they have one. And they have one of the keys.
The curators do not have a key. There may be a node in the museum, we have not discovered it.
Where's that lead?
You didn't steal our key when you came.
If your intentions are just to, live here? Why haven't you told anyone in the surrounding areas who already live here about your presence?
People react poorly and rashly and quickly, which is understandable. I have met with the magical lady of the gardens.
Just side eyes. Adelaide.
You get this, yeah, like out of the corner of my eye, you get acknowledgement, but like only in terms of like, yeah, I know I see, but still like this very stoic, stone faced, like the most stiff and formal you've ever seen Adelaide in response.
But she agreed to not mention us to others.
So she knows. Okay.
The phrase may be, she knows our hearts, is what she said. I don't have one of those, but I understood it as an idiom from the reading I do.
Oh, God, is there anything else I want to say to this fucking thing?
Considering how I live my life, outside of certain places. I understand the necessity to hide.
The horsemen are unaware of us for the most part, but they avoid the museums. I don't think the lab rats have noticed us. The fisher folk are perfectly content. Their life seems simple, whereas many live with fear. They have less fear than I think they should, but I do not know if that is bravery, faith, failure of intelligence, or something I don't fully comprehend yet.
2 keys. If you don't have one of them, and we do, or one of the 3, I guess I should say.
I
If you
have
don't,
one of them inside.
you do have one of the keys. You just said you didn't.
I said they don't at the museum. When you came in, you didn't steal the key we have. You came looking for the Franklin key and found a fake one.
Yes.
But it is one of these fakes. You didn't attempt to inspect it closely. You didn't snatch it and run. Both of which I consider a good sign. But if
Regardless, okay,
you
you
would
have
like
one
it,
of.
you may take it. I have been unable to copy the patterns in it and produce a duplicate. I don't know why.
Then do you know where the 3rd and final key is?
I worry it is in the university. I do not want to send my minions to claim it. I'm sorry, fellows to claim it. They are blunt instruments, and I fear doing such things would raise our profile.
Then I'd like to propose an alliance of sorts.
Okay.
Because I too can appreciate being born against the understandings of the people around you, falling out of step with their expectations for who you are. So far, I have been given reasons well to the contrary of what I understand to be your nature. That you, aren't in fact looking to kill everyone here. This is good. This is a good start.
That would cause me sadness. I would become bored without them.
Huh. Sure they feel the same way.
I hope they don't feel any way about me.
You wouldn't know what's on this network. Alright?
I think it is
Like-
interesting that it would have been designed before, but is unlike anything we have seen yet.
So, provide us with that key. We've made some headway interfacing with one of the nodes. Then we go to University City and find the last one. In exchange, just keep doing what you're doing.
These are agreeable terms to us. We will have access to the nodes, as there is one underneath the library as well.
And then, much like I did with every other deal I've made so far, I step slightly forward and offer out my hand.
The air shimmers less between the two of you as it rolls forward on its kind of treads. and it puts up a hand very gently. It says, "I do not know your strength capacity, but I imagine that I couldn't possibly harm you with a grip."
I just offer it a firm handshake, and
Yes. It gives you kind of a limp handshake, as though it's like, this is what
Yeah.
I've seen things do.
then we have an accord. Excellent. I
Would
step
you
back.
be disturbed if I became no longer optically observable? I am beginning to cause myself distress.
We'll just be taking the key and heading on our way. We have much to get to, and I would rather we begin sooner than later.
Yes. Do be safe. The lab brats have a number of contraptions that we have observed that they like to break things. I don't know why. It seems wasteful.
It's only at this point that I offer the barest slightest hint of a smile and just say, "We will be careful."
Forewarned is forearmed. And with that, it just rolls away. And it turns invisible as it rolls away.
Would Rainier care?
Trying to
something
decide
weird
if
and
Rainier would have cared enough to ask about the weird guy in the weird person behind the iron fence, but no.
You could ask.
No, I don't know that they would care enough to ask, honestly. Just kind of like, oh, it's this fence, and there's undead. And I can't get in, they can't get out. There's a barrier between the two of us. It doesn't matter.
Well, there was at least a couple of skeletal footprints outside of the gate, but they seemed older than the ones inside the gate. I did mention that before. Anyway.
But yes, it's completely fair if...
Yeah. All right. So, the buzzer on the library door says, "Oh, your request has been ready. You may, I will need to stamp a library card for you. But do come in, and we'll get you on the way for what you need."
Thank you.
You come in, the hologram presents to you the library desk where there is the key. There is a tag that what the robot stamps, and then the robot prints out a card with Adelaide's face on it and stamps the card. It says, "Here you are. I'm taken to understand that this will be an extended loan. I don't believe we put a time on it. But please don't take it out of the city, as that would cause trouble for everyone."
Don't worry, I don't think it's of much use to anyone outside the city yet anyway.
I don't know what it is. What is it?
Good question. Like, I have nothing else to say to this dude. I just leave. Unless anybody else
your
wants to
way
do
out, he
anything.
gives you Ben Franklin quote number 875 or whatever. Let's go. Random Ben Franklin quote. Better slip with foot than tongue.
I don't break stride, I just keep walking.
Rainier standing at the counter and, like, has that 1,000-yard stare of, if you may start to equate with basically Fey math. And then just digs in their bag.
Oh no.
Pulls out one of the romance novels.
Oh,
and
yes.
places it on the counter and just says, "We can trade back for it when we bring back the key," and then just walks out.
Oh,
I was told that the two library robots liked porn.
Yeah.
And that all books were good books.
All books are good books. They're all
Well,
good books, Brent.
they can make a little. They can put this in their file.
They absolutely. One of them rolls over and just starts scanning each page, scanning, flips the next page, scans the page, flips the next page, scans the page. About 3 chapters into the book, it scans the page more slowly, scans the page, and then goes back to the other page again.
Found the good part.
I want to get a very clear JPEG of that. Yes. So, you'll now have 2 of the Franklin keys.
Hot shit.
You have a good lead that the third one is in University City. It is likely the people there know that it is a thing. They probably don't know what. You've been told that there are contraptions and that they are techno wizards,
Yep.
and that there's at least 2 of them, and that they
Yep.
had others that like hung around there.
Once we get like back to the or transport is kind of like the only point that it's like I walk like back to that section of the bus that's got its little table and its seating area.
Yusikari is about halfway through some kind of rifle, designing and building it.
Sounds about right. Sounds like a techno wizard to me. And I just set the helmet down and do the hands on bridge of nose situation, and then just fill her in on everything we were just told.
Aberrants? I mean, there were tales of aberrants, apparently, but much like there are tales of elves building toys in cold places on this planet.
Unless you've got a better explanation for their behavior, I'm reticent but inclined to believe them. For now, I've offered them my word. So,
I don't see what they would gain.
I don't think they're looking to gain anything beyond survival.
I don't know that I'd trust them with the network.
I'm not trusting them with the network now. I'm not trusting anyone with the network until I know what the hell it is. I don't trust me with the network. But this is how we find out what the hell it is, and we take it from there. Regardless, we get the key from them. If they decide they need to then take them from us, that's a problem for tomorrow, Adelaide.
I don't like this.
I don't either. I don't either. But I don't see a lot of other options.
I
So
don't know what game they would be playing and why they would play games. That's not what they do.
that's why we're going to focus on one thing at a time.
They appear to be refugees.
Mechanoids create refugees. If they leave survivors at all.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and head over to University City. You are going to stay here and finish that whole situation right there.
Oh, I was trying to build a rifle that would phase a bullet through the side of the bus if I needed to.
I'll tell you what. And I unsling the rifle I've been holding around. I never used this thing anyway.
Oh.
They just gave it to me back at Castle Refuge.
I could use certainly parts of this, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Great. It's yours. And I like set it upright like on the table next to her. It's like just take whatever you need out of this. But for now, let's get this bus moving.
I'm gonna go as far as the creepy building that we saw, but I won't go past it.
Okay.
So she takes you and drops you off. kind of a distance from it too, because it is a creepy building.
Mm.
It's much later in the day now, and there are lights on inside. There's also spooky noises coming from the trees outside as well. Now you know there's ghosts there, and there's probably some ghosts making
Sure.
nighttime spooky noises, as ghosts are wont to do.
All right, team. So, for me, from a character standpoint, it's pretty much like, all right, I need to find out what the fuck this Franklin network is about. And there is a spooky ghost house, but hey, man, spooky ghost house ain't done me no kind of wrong. So what I got worried about spooky ghost house? Nobody's warned us about it. We haven't seen anybody getting attacked by the spooky ghosts. I don't have a lot of particular drive to go beat up spooky ghosts.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if that's something either or both of you would like to explore, please know that I am open to that idea. I now open the floor to other comments.
I don't know. My mouth started speaking before my brain could come up with anything, and then it just threw it all in the garbage, and I went, never mind.
No, I know what's in Spooky Ghost House as well as I know what's in University City. So.
So Seer just stole from that house, and you don't hit the same place twice if you can help it. Unless the shit's real good, and you miss some stuff the first time. So, like... But, honestly, Cecile has been distracted since talking to the patron robot. Jar of eyes. Because honestly, like, that whole bus trip back to where we are now, she's just been staring at one of the drone parts she has left. That's all she's been doing. So, like, honestly, she's gonna be a little bit easier to wrangle in a direction right now. So if the majority wants to go over that way to University City, she's not gonna fight anybody right now. And not wander off unless something smells really good. It's gotta be like fresh. Like a hot
you're
dog.
probably not going to find a fresh hot dog over there.
Yeah, so, like, you're fine. Yeah.
Oh, you'll find a hot dog. Won't be fresh.
Ooh. That hot dog will have grown sentience and a colony and start to recite poetry at you.
No, it's no good. It's no good. We don't want to hear hot dog poems tonight.
We'll just leave it.
Yes! She's not even my character, but I've met Cecile, and yeah, she would. It would be damp first, but yeah.
Ooh.
She'd wet down that hot dog and shove it in her face.
Gullet. Anyway.
Raccoons are omnivores.
Yeah, raccoons would fucking love a hot dog. Anyway. You come to the bridge. It is a bit of effort to get across, but you're all capable enough. There is a horse path that is kind of like cleared at one point. Are you trying to enter the University City area without being seen? Or you said you were gonna just go for it?
We've heard that these people are a little sketch, but like, I mean, I don't know. Do either of you want to run like recon or something? I can kind of sneak, but I ain't great at it. It's not really my whole scene. I'm knight in shining armor and all that shit.
I got a D6 in stealth, so I can technically do it, but
what is this city like?
All right, this part of the city is a lot of taller buildings.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly skyscrapers, but you're looking at like 8-story built. Well, I don't know what makes a skyscraper. A lot of like 14-story buildings, nothing like incredibly huge.
Okay.
But a number of old, big square kind of a little bit late 90s industrial architecture looking. With a lot of square corners and brick and stainless steel.
Okay.
Accoutrement on the. It's mostly some of it is just straight and cratered. The what used to be roads here are just areas where buildings didn't fall into fully. There's nothing really growing in this area. There's the occasional like weeds and stuff, and occasionally a tree has grown somewhere, but this is not a place that anyone has tended plants. There does seem to be, as you get across the bridge to the north, you see a good bit of forest. And you were told that that area has some spirit presence, and above that is the riding society, the horsemen, the Fletchers, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But University City doesn't have any cultivation. It looks from the outside, doors are still blown off of places. Rain and mud and soil have gone into buildings. Occasionally a building will have stuff growing out of it. But these were mega damaged buildings that got fucked up bad. I mean, some of it's just straight up worn away by wind and weather. It does seem to have a clear, I would say, anyone would need like a academia to know this, but it was like part of a tidal wave hit this deep into the city, so there was like remnants of a water line at bits. And let's see.
Is there anyone walking around, or is it literally just...
It seems pretty quiet, but you also don't see any animals in the area, which is a little... Takes you a minute to figure out, like, what's missing. Bird songs. No bird song. No sound of deer running through the forest. No berry bushes dropped by seeds. No squirrels. It's weirdly quiet. But there is occasionally the sound of a ping. An irregular grinding and then ping sound a bit deeper into the University City area. It's been so long since I was physically in this area that my brain is currently blanking on some things over there. Trying to remember exactly where Drexel is.
So you mentioned all the like, basically the daytime animals. Does there seem to be anything that's, like, nocturnal, all of the, like, essentially quote-unquote trash critters that would have been picking
In
for
such a
things?
place? No.
Ooh, that's
You're not
real
seeing
disturbing.
scavengers.
Yeah.
You're not. You do see the occasional bug, but nothing bigger than like a hand.
Okay.
If you're looking around.
Bigger than a hand. Okay.
It's a big bug.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Then.
Yeah, this is the ruins of the University of Pennsylvania. There is a large field with the Fox Fitness Center. And a number of large, what look to be formerly hospitals type buildings. As you take a moment, you hear that sound of the clicking and whirring kind of getting closer to you. And at some point, it comes around a corner about 4 blocks away from you. It is roughly the size of a child.
Oh no!
And it is clearly mechanical. It moves like a small world animatronic. With janky motions. This one has a bit where its shoulder has what look to be sword marks in it. Like a sword took a chunk out of its shoulder, but didn't, finish the job. And that's what's making the whirring sound, is coming from inside of it. There's gears grinding and damage to this automaton. As it walks down the street, getting closer, it goes, "Will you be my friend?"
Oh, son of a fuck.
Will you be my friends?
Looks at Adelaide with this look of "Don't you fucking dare!"
It stops like 2 blocks back, like 2 blocks down. And it says, "Won't you be my..." And then coming from south of you, you hear another one go, "Friends."
No, 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 no.
I turn around very quickly.
There is one that looks like a small Dutch boy
Of course.
who comes out from the brush of the old tennis courts and is standing there just staring at you.
Wasn't there something said about the lab brats like to? There's traps or something.
It's not a warning. Not something about.
It might be part of the trap thing.
What do you have, a gun? Maybe get the gun out. And I manifest my Psy sword, like warp.
Won't you be my friends?
Are they just like standing? Like they're not getting any closer?
They are not getting closer.
I don't. And on the sides of us, there's buildings on this either side of us.
Yeah, you're kind of you make your way down Walnut Street a bit. And there is one further, like 3 blocks down, and one south of you. If you go up a block, there is a part where there used to be a building, but that building got completely like demolished.
Mm-hmm.
You see actually the remains, like it looks like a hill, but has the top of a crane coming out of it at an angle, as though a large construction crane got buried there.
So Sear's just gonna keep looking out for more of these small children.
Give me a notice check.
Five Nights at Freddy knockoffs over here.
Besides the children, they're small. Just push them over. Just push them over. Like
8.
hobbits.
You got an 8 again.
Yep.
All right.
Kind of gold chuck else, please.
Another one appears on top of an old museum on the other side of a baseball field. It's a little too far to hear, but it is standing there dressed as a Caribbean child.
Is it facing us?
Yes.
Like, great. Setting up some kind of pattern.
Though it was like a couple of minutes before that one appeared. So you are like, or it was maybe 2 minutes before that one appeared.
I wouldn't have stood around this long.
Yeah.
It's waiting for an opportunity to just be like, all right, Rainier, keep an eye on that one behind us. Sincere, cover me while I do something stupid.
Always.
Yeah. I'm going to slowly walk towards the one that was in front of us, not the one that's down south, but I guess the one that would, if we're going north-south, then yeah, I guess the one that's up north.
I'm taking
Actually,
out my
it would be
rifle.
the way you're facing it would be further west of you.
Okay, further
So
west.
you've got one on the west, one on the south, and then another one kind of in between the two.
Okay.
But
the
that one's...
direction we were traveling then west, I'm continuing to head that way.
I have a rifle, my rifle in my hand. It's
You
not
hear it again?
up
Won't
yet,
you
but I'm.
be my friends?
Yeah, I've kind of already heard that one. I don't suppose you say anything else, as I'm slowly closing the distance.
There is no response.
Oh, you don't talk much. Anybody here I can talk to? I just sort of like shout, like very lightly glance left and right as I do that, but I not keep taking my nose off of this thing as I'm still just one slow step in front of the other towards it.
How close are you going to try to get to it before, like, are you just going to keep creeping closer?
Basically, until this thing does something.
You get within 1 block of it, and it doesn't seem to have changed anything. But you do hear once again from like another block behind it. Well, won't you be my friends? And now it's coming from a little further west as well. There are at least 4 of these things that you can hear currently.
Okay.
As you
Go
get
ahead.
within like half a block of it, goes me.
Oh no.
It doesn't have facial expressions.
Yeah, no. I do. And mine are frowny face.
It has a very neutral expression painted on it.
I would like to give this thing a wide berth and see if I can just move past it.
As you start to move across the street, it kind of moves like it's strafed, still facing you the whole time. Its midsection turned, but its chest did not.
Hey, Rainier.
Mm-hmm.
Be ready for whatever happens next. Hey, Cecile.
We.
And I like my left arm just sort of comes up and coalesces into my psi shield as I like take up a defensive stance and just take the shot.
And just holds up the rifle and tries to shoot this.
Give me a shooting roll.
This
Let's
weeble
say
wobble.
you have enough time to have taken the aim action, giving you a +2.
We. Fantastic. We. Let's go. Oh god.
So you got a 1 and a 2 +2. So you do have a 4 there, which is a hit.
That is it.
Would you like to keep that or reroll?
Did we get all of our
Oh yeah,
things
Yeah,
back?
your
we're
bennies.
bennied up. Our bennies restarted at the start of the episode, and we are full up on them.
I might as well try. It's not gonna kill me to do it again. So I will
Okay.
reroll. And I'll use a roll. The 5 this time. So
Okay.
I'll take that. That's fine.
You hit it square in the face. This one goes, ow, that's not nice.
Adelaide.
And it's still just standing there, waiting for a hug. Roll your damage on it.
24?
Good
Jesus.
God.
24 is enough to remove the head unit completely, and the arm that was broken just falls off to the ground. It currently has 1 arm. Inside is a bunch of gears and wires that are connected around some kind of baseball-looking thing. And your blast takes off enough of it that just you can see a little bit of speaker sticking out when it says, that's not nice. And a potato underneath the speaker, and the potato is filled with wires.
A potato.
Potato.
Is it a fresh potato?
It is does not look like a decrepit potato.
It's not an undead potato at the very least. Huzzah!
I make a potato battery.
It's amazing.
Or worse. Listen, Techno Wizards, man, anything they can get their hands on.
And then you hear, that's not nice from the rest of them. From the other
Rainier,
3.
what is that one doing behind us?
Oh. I've never been being nice. Are we leaving?
Yup, and I charge this thing.
You charge, well, the one in front of you just got completely obliterated by the shot. It pretty much falls over as soon as you get near it. So do
okay.
you want to go after
I'm
one of the others?
No, it's like we just let's go.
All right, you're running further into University City, further west.
Get the hell out of here. Fuck this.
As you start to move like another block west, you see more of them. And then another block, and it starts to look like every alleyway you look down, there's one of them.
Oh no.
And they start chanting unkind.
Oh god.
Okay. I would like a building or a subway or a
There is no subway stations here that you can easily access. There are a number of ruined and broken buildings. But as they start chanting, you make your there's brownstone homes, and there's a large auditorium up ahead. A large like amphitheater kind of thing that takes up most of a block. You could make for that. Are you making for the amphitheater or one of the smaller like housing places on the other, or business on the bottom and then like 5 stories of apartments on top? So, sorry, let me restate that because I made a mess of it. On one side is an amphitheater.
yeah.
On which for a little bit south is an amphitheater. A little bit north is like the bottom row is like a bodega that no longer exists, like a clothing store, and those have like 5 stories above them where people could be living.
Okay.
Most of them seem pretty bombed out and empty. So, which side would you like to go to?
But amphitheaters are open, so I would like to go the other direction towards an enclosed space. My intent here being to like, if we could funnel this problem in
Let's
one
get some
direction from
cover.
us.
There's at least 10 of them now, and they seem to move pretty quick. In fact, you started seeing them like going back as you started walking along, like clearly going behind the buildings to come out the other side. And you jump your way into the building. There's no one seemingly. The door comes easily off the hinges. It looks like no one even touched this in a long time, and it just pretty much disintegrates. But you get into the interior of the building. There's a giant elevator shaft where the elevator is at the bottom, and there's stairs on next to the elevator going up and down. Oh, sorry. Back behind the elevator is another set of like apartments and a larger like meeting area. And you hear, "That's not nice." And it kind of shakes what's left of the windows. And you hear thumping out of the amphitheater. Kind of coming through a wall, Kool-Aid Man style, is what looks to be a rosy-cheeked Bavarian child. Except it is mechanical, and it is 20 feet tall.
Oh, that's very large.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no. No, 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 no. No.
This room we're in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a like what are we? You said it was like a business.
The first floor was like a clothing store. There's some mannequins left behind from forever ago, but they're kind of rotten. And
Great.
then behind that is apartments.
Okay, could I spend a penny to rather than it being like a clothing store? Could it be like an ice cream shop or something? Something
Yes.
with a big freezer in it.
Sure.
Great. I scream over at Rainier. Just Rainier as I'm grabbing the side of like one of the freezers. Just be like gesturing with my head towards the door. It's like we need to move this thing in front of the fucking door.
Yes. It just starts dragging it with you.
Yeah, you get it in front of the door. It is big and bulky. But you don't know how well it's gonna stand in a mega-powered, or a magically powered, 20-foot tall Bavarian boy.
They're just looking to slow it down. So unless anybody else has their ideas, like my only thought is we just keep heading out the back and get the fuck away from this thing. But
So we just put buildings in between us and it.
agreed.
It leans down and goes, "Won't you give me a hug?" And then it kind of like grabs the sides of the building, and the building even shakes.
So you still have those explosives from the drone. Did we spend those? I don't remember.
I don't think so. Well, or did you on the I'll say you still have explosives.
I don't know. I'm asking Derek because it's just like I remember you were the last one that you pried them out of there wisely and fortuitously. Do you know if you still have them? I don't remember.
It's hold on a sec. And she starts rifling through, and she's just like, there's just old chip bags and all kinds of weird shit flying out of her bag, and she's just like, somehow I have not used it yet.
That seems a prime candidate. As I'm like backing away from the front of this building.
Hey, you're not wrong. Okay, hold on. And she's just want to figure out where's the best place to put this, so this large mechanical Bavarian boy essentially hugs the bomb.
I mean, right in that freezer.
Right in the freezer? Okay.
Yeah.
Then Cecile with, like, little panicked, like, claw scratching noises at the fridge and everything, and, like, a jerking around tail, is just gonna try to rig the freezer.
All right, give me a repair.
Yeah, we're gonna repair this refrigerator by putting a bomb inside of it.
9!
All right, you do it, and well, I will give you an extra d6 of damage to this thing.
Yeah.
When it explodes in a minute.
Amazing.
But first, out back behind this house, you can hear a faint tinkle of a stream. And only really the first person to notice this is Rainier. And it's a stream where a beam of sunlight is just piercing between the two buildings, highlighting this stream. And sitting on a lily pad on the stream is about a 5-inch tall person who is bathing themselves with a ladle. And it goes eep as it looks at you and then like covers parts that it doesn't have anatomy for.
Seen everything. It's what are those?
Creepy robots. Creepy magic bots. I don't like them. They stay out of my garden.
They just avoid this?
Me? They avoid me.
They're afraid of you.
I don't know. I don't talk to them. They don't have personality. They're no fun to play tricks on. At that point, Dara, go ahead and roll 7 die 6.
That's a lot of nuts.
That's a lot of numbers. This thing has a lot of armor, though.
How? Okay. How do I do that?
Just a die 6 7 times, or just
Oh no, I remember now. Okay.
I forget I always put the slash in the wrong spot.
It's been a hot minute since.
Yeah. So on the left hand side, there's a D20 icon. You can like hover over that. At the bottom, there's an advanced die roller. There you go.
Oh, hold on. Now roll 2 more die 6 because 2 of those were 6s.
Yeah, 2 of them aced.
Yep. 2 and then another 5. So 36 damage as the fridge explodes. The fridge goes through the front thing, smashes into like one of the legs of this thing, and the building kind of jerks a little. As it jerks a little, and part of its knee is just shattered. It is, I would call, wounded. But still existent.
You think it owes me money? All right, I think it's time to go.
As you run, the little thing goes. Anything I can offer you, big cousin?
Good.
Thing right now.
I know what you need.
I can trade you for help.
What will you trade me? I will help you then.
Just depends on the level of help. Let's see. What do I still have left?
Now, you looking at the stream, you see that the stream is actually kind of a drainage pipe from one on top of another building, and another drainage pipe where a sewer kind of burst forever ago and just created a little stream through this back alley. It's very mossy. There are the remains of dumpsters in this alley as well, but they are like the fronts were crumpled in and worn away by time.
Okay. So, tell you what. I will let you choose.
Ooh.
And they pull out a half-spent candle. Smells like sugar cookies.
Ooh. Oh boy. Ooh, that's real good.
They pull out a fidget spinner.
No interest in the fidget spinner.
Okay. One more thing. Oh, and the jingly cat toy that Sincere stolen and put back. Like, but considering where you are, and then just kind of like gestures with the candle.
I think this candle is wonderful. I will make it dance for you. Snatches the candle out of your hand very quickly. You don't hear any music, but she seems to be like singing a song.
Mm-hmm.
And then the building that you're kind of just out the back door of starts to sway a little along with the pixie, as though something holding it was starting to dance. What do you do next?
Alright, it's time to go.
Oh, what the hell harm?
The large boy is distracted. We should go while we can.
Yeah, no, okay. It's like I'm like trying to go out the door, but also looking down. Should we be worried about whoever that is?
He goes, "You're pretty."
Don't care for that.
They've been paid. It's fine. Let's go.
Okay, running now.
As you run away, you can see that the bot, the big Bavarian boy, is like slow dancing with the building, rocking back and forth, its knee occasionally cracking even harder.
Good.
The building starts to give away at bits.
He gives a little, like, over the shoulder with a smirk, like, and you said they weren't fun to play with.
It is now. So you head north, into under a bridge where you see a golden dragon painted on a blue background. Yeah. There's a couple of subway. Oh, does this area have trolleys? Is this a trolley area? I don't remember. Might be a trolley area. You see the remains of a Wawa hollowed out and empty of filled with broken and rotted packages where new life has started to grow. But you cross into a different university's area, it appears, as you start seeing golden dragons painted on things on the outsides of these buildings. And it says Drexel University. And you notice in here the copper wires are strung up again. And as you start moving closer to one of the areas with the copper wires, you see an enormous speaker. Basically someone's PA, just like hoisted onto one of these copper wires just hanging there. And you hear a voice go, "And now a new contestant! Welcome!"
Hello?
Hello and welcome to my favorite game show, Run for Your Life!
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
gonna have to pass on that. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Now, what's the name of our first contestant? You with the bandana!
Adelaide, what do I do?
Hey, how about you leave her alone and answer my question first? There's a thought. She's under my protection. That's all you need to know. I like step in front of Cecile.
Welcome, contestant 1, under my protection!
Motherfucker.
And contestant number 2, you there, with the frosty look on your frosty tips.
Just yells at the speaker, "You can't afford that information."
You cannot. Or, welcome, player number 2, you can. And our lovely cyber knight in the shining armor. What's your name?
How far away from me is this pole that this fucking PA system is strung up on?
About half a block.
Damn it. All right. Well, that complicates things.
Just gave up your rifle.
I did. I was like, I'm just gonna cut this fucking thing down. Like, oh,
You can move to it and cut it down. There doesn't seem to be anything moving on the street. You don't notice anything else.
Then yeah, actually, while it's talking to Rainier, I'm just like marching ahead with purpose at this thing. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and spend a point of PowerPoint here just to give my Psy Sword mega damage. It does heavy damage now. And just whoomp through that pole as hard as I possibly can.
The pole comes crashing down only partially, as it is somewhat supported by the wiring that runs throughout parts of the city here. As that wiring starts to tear a little, you see sparks come out at one point of it. And the speaker jiggles, but doesn't hit the ground, and it goes, "Rude? Well, that's gonna cost her points." What is today's grand... Well, let's see, Jimmy, what do we have for grand prize today? Today for grand prize, we have that thing they're probably looking for. It's that thing they're probably looking for, provided by Rayhill.
What? Wait.
Goes, and contestant Cyber Knight, what is it you're looking for?
Okay. Quick think. How would she fucking respond to this? I'm not interested in your games, and I'm very not interested in the way you're threatening my friends. So, we can have a face-to-face conversation about this, like civilized, reasonable people, or I can tear this place apart. It's your choice. And, like, the
Adelaide.
blue energy of my Psyblade like flares as I'm speaking.
Adelaide. You don't care what happens, right?
Not in the slightest.
And Rainier kind of like bounces a little, like on the balls of their feet, and then just grins. And it is probably the least attractive thing you have seen them do thus far, is to smile like that.
All right. And the speaker goes, and with that, round 1 is underway. Let's see if they can find a person to talk to. You hear a brief theme music. And then the theme music cuts out and goes, I think I got through the wire. I think someone's in the game. Oh my god, do you think they'll they'll be able to find and welcome back to the game. And that's where we're going to leave it for the night.
Oh boy.
Fuck.
What? What?
Yes! I'm gonna fucking kill these fools.
Yeah, straight up bad guys. No more.
I'm gonna kill them. Oh my god, they were scary with babies. They scared my nice thieving friend who took something that she shouldn't have, but that's okay. She's going through a lot. We have to understand and have patience
She
for her.
didn't take something from them, so it's irrelevant to these people. They're just being assholes.
I don't cotton to these threats. I'm gonna laser sword them, please.
I'm
Alright,
down
I can
3 random objects, guys.
Holy shit. Well, you get
Listen,
one back. You get one
a
back.
sugar cookie candle. That was gonna do something.
Yeah,
to a
I was
tiny...
like, those are my favorite. We have so many of those half-spent candles just around our house, since it smell like different types of baked goods.
Yeah, it's great. That's exactly what a Fae wants.
And you can get those things for like the big ones for like $7 from Home Goods.
All right. So we have some fun weirdness happening next time, as it appears bits of Drexel University have been converted into a Mad TV, or what was it? What's the twin stick shooter? Smash TV style game, maybe.
Big money,
And-
big prizes. I love it. I played a lot of Smash TV as a kid, and I'm very looking forward to all of this. As someone who, my favorite D&D setting is X-Crawl. Oh yeah, let's fucking go.
Never heard of it.
I'll fill you in.
Yeah, not important. Anyway, thank you for joining us, everybody, tonight. I have not looked at chat in a hot minute, so I hope you're all doing well. And we hopefully we'll be back next week. I'll try to get last episode up soon, followed by this one. And we hope you're well. Does anyone, so, I believe you should follow the Twitter links for Dara and Riley, and follow their channels. They will be streaming occasionally, and join the Discords to know exactly when that's happening.
Yeah. I should be here tomorrow, so that's a good place to start.
What you playing?
I've been playing Power Wash Simulator because
It's the
the
I've never
best.
played it, but
Well, and now they have add-ons for Tomb Raider and Final Fantasy VII. So we were Nikita and I were cleaning Lara Croft's manor and some other stuff the other night, and then all I know for Final Fantasy VII is you start in 7th Heaven, and then I don't know what comes after that. You have to unlock them all. So,
Anyway, that'll be fun. So tune in for that. All right, everyone. We'll catch you soon. Have a great night. And yeah, I guess we're just gonna. All right.
Yeah,
we'll see you soon.
You went and I didn't look, and
Yeah.
it's fine. You're all released. Go out and have fun.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
I'm
Bye.
Bye.
I'm